Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another video in the Red Shadow's favorite games series. And today we're going to be talking about another one of my old PlayStation 2 favorites. And this game is called Drakan, the Ancient's Gates. Lighting here doesn't seem to be the greatest to kind of show off the cover. Not that the cover is really the best cover ever. It's kind of a weird and crudely hand-drawn kind of art type thing, which would be fine, you know, in, I don't know, some sort of a picture book or whatever, but I agree. I think it was Game Informer or somebody recently, the last few years, had an article about what a selection of what they consider to be the worst game covers in video game history up till at least like PS3 and 360 and Wii. And this one was on there. Like I said, it's not the greatest. They could have done something a little bit better. But anyway, that does not detract from how much I love this game here. Now this game is a sequel to a game. This one came out in 2002. This was a sequel to a game called Drakan, Order of the Flame, that came out in 1999. It was only on the PC. Never played that one. I don't know if I ever will. I might look into it at some point, but I don't know. This game really captured me when I first played it several years ago. So I'm almost not sure I would want to take a step back in an older game that might taint it a little bit. But this game is basically, I'll just read this right here on the back. The warrior Rin and her dragon Arok must undertake a desperate quest to awaken the great dragons of a long-lost empire. Only the power of these ancient guardians can save the world from darkness. Up here at the top it says, in the world of Drakan, civilization has crumbled and a great evil threatens to enslave the last traces of humanity. Basically, this is sort of a fantasy tale. The lady that you play as, Rin, she has magic abilities and wields a big sword, and she flies around on this dragon Arok, who she can summon to her, and they, go around and take care of business. In this particular game, it's just, follows a lot of those kinds of fantasy world tropes. You come to a kingdom, and they ask you for some help, and there's an evil, magical being who is trying to mess things up for everybody. I don't know, the story is lost on me, as it usually is in a lot of fantasy type stuff. I just love the fact that it's a very in-depth and fun adventure to go on with this lady who has, like I said, her sword and her spells and her dragon. And she, on her own, it's a third-person kind of action-adventure game. You run around the environments and the enemies come up and you kill them and you loot them. And of course, it's got things like barrels and chests that you can get into to get all kinds of loot and stuff that you can sell and upgrade your weapons, upgrade your spell power. And then there are points in the game when you get to ride on the dragon, and you have dragon battles with other dragons. You can also get on Arok and have air-to-ground type battles where you can shoot fireballs and all different kinds of things down, rain it upon the enemies down below or at other dragons in the sky. I don't know, it's really hard to really encapsulate just how much fun all of that is. But if I could compare this to something, and it might be a little surprising that it would be a game that didn't come out until 2 years after this, but I feel a lot of World of Warcraft in this game. Obviously not the online aspect to it, this is just a one-player game for console, but a lot of the look and the feel of the world and the environments and a lot of the creatures are very present in World of Warcraft. Now, it could just be because, as I said before when I mentioned the fantasy tropes, and maybe there's a lot of fantasy-based characters and creatures that get used in a lot of these games that that tend to go down that road of fantasy. So maybe I'm just seeing things in this game that are also in World of Warcraft, because you see them in all kinds of these role-playing style games, role-playing pen and paper games, books and comics and everything else that kind of revolve around this style of world. But I just thought it was kind of cool. In 2009, 2010, when I was first playing World of Warcraft, I was like, this is really reminding me of something. Then I had a chance to play Drakan again, and I was like, I see that game in this game and vice versa. So, just kind of a cool little thing that maybe most people wouldn't notice, or maybe everybody thought the same thing and I'm just talking out of my behind. But I really, really love this game. I really enjoy it. It's got great voiceover work. The graphics on it are not, you know, they're not going to blow you away, because this was 2002. This was an early PlayStation 2 game. But they're very, very serviceable. And really the only thing that stands out in any regard to this game is that it does have a very unfortunate, somewhat game-breaking bug. If you choose to, there's a couple places where you can go like into caves or tunnels, and it's kind of like a loading screen, like a bridge or something like that, into another part of the world that has to load in. And I think if you go into one without Arok being with you, he doesn't come with you, and when you go back, he's gone. And Arok is just out of the game. And Arok is required, I do believe, to access some areas later on in the game, so you have to remember at this one point in the game not to leave him behind. So yeah, that's kind of bizarre, but you know, whatever. I never experienced it. I think I've went through and played and beat this game a total of 3 times, and the first time or 2 I wasn't even aware of this glitch, but I didn't run into it, and now I know, so I won't be susceptible to that. So if you play this game, think about that. Look it up online and find out exactly where it is, and make sure you don't go through there without a recent game saved, so you can go back if you make that mistake. So anyway, that was Drakan, the Ancient's Gates. Apparently this one was directly from Sony, Surreal Software. I was thinking maybe this was made by somebody else. I didn't even realize that until now, that the only symbol down here is for Sony Computer Entertainment. So that's kind of cool. But anyway, it's kind of an obscure PS2 game. Some of the ones on this list that are from the PS2 and from other consoles are obscure. But this one, I think, in my opinion, is worth going out and finding. $10, $15 probably at the max. I may be way off. Who knows? I noticed that Dog's Life was going for, you know, around about its original $20 price if you go on eBay and find one new, which I thought they would probably be like 5 or 10. So who knows what the pricing of this would be, but still, check it out. If fantasy kind of games interest you at all, if an older PS2 game like this would interest you at all, if you like dragons, check out Drakan the Ancient Gates. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of My Favorite Games. Bye.